F. Kennedy opened his campaign in the West Virginia primary with a press conference on the steps of the state capitol in Charleston. What the senator said at the Capitol is of utmost importance to every West Virginian, and that, of course, means you. Let's listen.
We start today what may be one of the most important primaries in the United States, a primary which will have an effect, I think, in every state, and which will also be felt, I think, at the Los Angeles Convention. The great issue confronting West Virginia in 1960, and in a sense, one of the great issues confronting the entire United States, of course, is economic development. And it is an issue to which I have devoted a substantial amount of the 14 years that I've spent in the Congress of the United States. West Virginia has in some ways the same economic problems that were held by my own state of Massachusetts in the days immediately after the end of World War II. The economy of Massachusetts depended completely, basically, on the cotton and textile industries, which were liquidated and which left Massachusetts and moved to other areas. The great problem, therefore, that we have had in the last 10 years is to try to replace those old industries, the old mill towns, Lawrence and Lowell and Fall River and New Bedford and Adams and all the rest, to replace them with new industries. We have begun to do it, but it is, of course, been obvious for a good many years that the federal government has not played a role commensurate with its authority, responsibility, and opportunity. The chief burden has been maintained in Massachusetts, as it has in this state of West Virginia, by local groups, local development groups, by community and counties, and by the state. I must say that West Virginia will, in the future, continue to have to play a role in meeting its economic problems. But as a member of the Labor Committee for 14 years, I strongly believe that the federal government has a great role to play in the channeling of defense contracts, in federal minimum standards for the payment of unemployment compensation, a bill which I have offered in successive Congresses since 1954, the passage of an effective minimum wage law, which I now co-sponsor with Senator Morse and Congressman Jimmy Roosevelt in the House, with adequate coverage for those who are not now covered, the area redevelopment bill, which came out of the Labor Committee and which I managed on the floor of the Senate the first time it passed several years ago. I must say that I think that there are a great many things that can be done. And I must say also that those things fall across the desk of the next president. It's all right for the members of the Congress to try, and for members of the Senate, which they have in both bodies from this state. But in the final analysis, action in our country depends upon the president. He can veto bills, as he did the area redevelopment bill and the coal research bill. He can discourage it and tie it up in committees. He can fail to recommend action. He can fail to provide, for example, for manpower policy number 4, which provides that those areas suffering from unemployment shall receive preference in the disposition of defense contracts. All of these things come to rest on the desk of the next president. So I run for the presidency after 14 years in the Congress with full realization of its opportunities and responsibilities. I come here to this state on this occasion asking for your support. I am one of 2 candidates in the primary in West Virginia. There are no delegates at stake. Whoever wins the primary does not pick up a delegate. But it is a primary which will have great influence. And I come here today on the state capitol, initiating this campaign and requesting support in this primary for a vigorous and hard-hitting campaign, which I think can be successful in Los Angeles and, more important, successful in November. Thank you very much.
When you vote, remember Senator Kennedy is the only Democrat who has been regularly chosen over Nixon in all major nationwide polls. It's up to you and Kennedy. Vote Kennedy, May 10th.